Rapper Blueface arrested for attempted murder by Metro today.
Hip-hop artist Blueface has been officially arrested following a heated altercation with up-and-coming rapper Lil Mabu, sources confirm. The incident reportedly stemmed from a diss track released by Lil Mabu, which contained explicit content and derogatory remarks aimed at Blueface. Witnesses say that Blueface confronted Lil Mabu at a local venue, leading to a physical altercation. Law enforcement was called to the scene, resulting in Blueface's arrest. The music industry and fans alike are now awaiting further details and official statements from the involved parties. In the aftermath of the altercation and Blueface's arrest, social media has been flooded with reactions from fans, fellow artists, and industry insiders. Many are expressing their shock and disappointment, while others are calling for a thorough investigation into the incident. Blueface's legal team has since released a statement, emphasizing that their client is cooperating fully with law enforcement and asserting that there are two sides to every story. They are urging the public to withhold judgment until all the facts are presented. Lil Mabu, on the other hand, has taken to his social media platforms to address the situation. In a series of posts, he claims that the diss track was purely artistic expression and not meant to incite violence. He expresses his concern for the escalation of the situation and hopes for a peaceful resolution. The music industry is now grappling with the broader implications of this incident, sparking a renewed debate about the line between artistic expression and personal responsibility. Some industry veterans are calling for artists to be more mindful of the potential real-world consequences of their lyrics, while others argue that freedom of expression is paramount and should be protected at all costs. As the legal proceedings unfold, the court of public opinion remains divided. Some fans are standing firmly behind Blueface, asserting that he was provoked and had a right to defend himself. Others are expressing their support for Lil Mabu, arguing that he should be free to express himself artistically without fear of physical retaliation. The incident has also reignited discussions about the role of diss tracks in hip-hop culture, with some questioning whether they contribute to a toxic environment that can lead to real-world violence. Industry leaders are now faced with the challenge of navigating these complex issues as they work to strike a balance between supporting artistic freedom and ensuring the safety and well-being of all involved. As the story continues to develop, all eyes are on the legal proceedings and the potential long-term impact this incident could have on the careers of Blueface and Lil Mabu, as well as the hip-hop industry as a whole. The legal proceedings surrounding Blueface's arrest are moving swiftly, with both sides preparing their cases for what promises to be a high-profile trial. The prosecution is building a case around the physical altercation, citing eyewitness accounts and any available surveillance footage to establish a timeline of events. They argue that Blueface's actions were premeditated and fueled by the derogatory remarks in Lil Mabu's diss track, constituting a clear case of assault. Blueface's defense team, however, is working diligently to frame the incident as a momentary lapse in judgment, possibly provoked by the explicit content of the diss track. They are likely to highlight Blueface's lack of a criminal record and his contributions to the community in an effort to garner sympathy from the court. The hip-hop community remains deeply divided over the incident. Some artists and industry insiders are using this moment to call for change, advocating for more responsible lyricism and a de-escalation of beefs within the music industry. They argue that the incident between Blueface and Lil Mabu is a symptom of a larger issue, where competitive banter can quickly escalate into violence. So others, however, are defending the tradition of diss tracks in hip-hop, emphasizing their role in artistic expression and competition. They argue that artists should not be held responsible for how their words are interpreted or acted upon by others, as long as they are not explicitly inciting violence. The trial is set to begin in the coming weeks, and it is expected to be closely watched by fans, artists, and industry professionals alike. The outcome will not only determine Blueface's legal fate, but could also set a precedent for how similar incidents are handled in the future. Meanwhile, Lil Mabu has decided to use this incident as a turning point in his career. He has announced plans to launch an initiative focused on promoting nonviolence and responsible lyricism within the hip-hop community. He hopes that by taking a stand, he can help prevent future incidents like the one he was involved in. As the trial date approaches, the tension within the hip-hop community continues to rise. The incident has sparked a much-needed conversation about responsibility, artistic expression, and the potential consequences of lyrical content. Regardless of the trial's outcome, it is clear that the incident between Blueface and Lil Mabu will have lasting implications for the industry, potentially ushering in a new era of accountability and mindfulness in hip-hop. As the trial date looms closer, the media frenzy surrounding Blueface's arrest and the altercation with Lil Mabu continues to intensify. Fans, celebrities, and commentators are all weighing in, sharing their opinions and speculations about the potential outcome and its implications for the music industry. Blueface's legal team is reportedly working around the clock, gathering evidence and witness testimonies to build a strong defense. They are expected to argue that the altercation was a result of a heated moment and that Blueface did not intend to cause any serious harm. They might also highlight the provocative nature of Lil Mabu's diss track, suggesting that it played a role in escalating the situation. Lil Mabu, on the other hand, is using this time to further his initiative promoting nonviolence and responsible lyricism. He has been engaging with community leaders, fellow artists, and youth organizations, hoping to create a positive change out of a negative situation. His efforts are gaining traction, with many praising him for turning a personal ordeal into an opportunity for advocacy and education. The hip-hop community is watching closely, with many expressing hope that this incident will lead to a broader conversation about the culture surrounding diss tracks and artist beefs. Some are calling for industry-wide standards and guidelines to help prevent future incidents of violence stemming from lyrical content. As the trial begins, all eyes are on the courtroom. The prosecution presents a compelling case, highlighting the physical evidence and eyewitness accounts of the altercation. They argue that regardless of the content of the diss track, Blueface's response was excessive and constitutes assault. Blueface's defense counters by emphasizing the emotional turmoil their client was under due to the derogatory remarks in the diss track. They argue that while Blueface's actions were regrettable, they were not criminal, and he should not be held criminally responsible for a momentary lapse in judgment. The trial is expected to last several weeks, with both sides presenting extensive evidence and witness testimonies. The outcome remains uncertain, but it is clear that the incident has already had a profound impact on the hip-hop community, sparking conversations and debates that will likely continue long after the trial concludes. Regardless of the verdict, the incident between Blueface and Lil Mabu has ignited a movement within the hip-hop community, calling for reflection, responsibility, and change. The industry is at a crossroads, and the decisions made in the coming weeks and months will shape the future of hip-hop for years to come. Blueface's defense team, however, remains steadfast, highlighting the emotional distress caused by the diss track and framing the incident as a moment of temporary insanity. They bring forth character witnesses, including family members, friends, and community leaders, all testifying to Blueface's generally peaceful nature and his contributions to his community. Outside the courtroom, the incident has galvanized artists and industry professionals to take a stand. Rallies and discussions are organized, with participants advocating for a change in the hip-hop culture, calling for an end to violent responses to lyrical content, and promoting a message of peace and responsibility. Lil Mabu's initiative continues to gain momentum, with more artists joining the cause and using their platforms to speak out against violence in the industry. The young rapper finds himself at the center of a movement, using his experience to drive positive change. The verdict sends shockwaves through the hip-hop community, with mixed reactions from all sides. Some see it as a victory for artistic expression and a rejection of censorship, while others view it as a missed opportunity to hold artists accountable for their actions. In the weeks and months following the trial, the hip-hop industry begins to reflect and take action. Conversations about responsibility, artistic expression, and the potential for violence continue, with industry leaders, artists, and fans all playing a role in shaping the future of hip-hop. Blueface takes the jury's recommendation to heart, enrolling in anger management counseling and dedicating time to community service. He also speaks out about his experience, urging his fellow artists to think before they act and to consider the potential consequences of their words.